Welcome guys to today's class. In our class today, we are going to be showing you, or we are going to be talking about formation of images by plane mirrors. Okay, so what are we going to look at today? Now, a very quick question. Imagine standing in front of a plane mirror. Okay, your mirror in your house is an example of a plane mirror. Now, when you're standing in front of that mirror, you observe that you only see one image of yourself. Okay, you see only one image of yourself inside that mirror. Okay, now but something interesting happens when you have two mirrors in the same vicinity. Okay, so look at this analysis. So imagine I have one mirror here. This is one mirror, and then this is another mirror. Okay, this is mirror 1, this is mirror 1, and this is mirror 2. So I have these two mirrors inclined at a certain angle. Let's call that angle theta. Now, if there is an angle between two mirrors, then it means that if we place an object in front of the mirror, there are multiple images of this object that will be observed. So we are going to see multiple images of our objects inside the mirror, because it is not only one mirror that is present now. So that is what we are going to be talking about today. Okay, so interestingly, they are going to ask us in exam the number of images that are going to be formed. So the number of images that are going to be formed we represent with letter N. It depends on the angle between the mirrors, theta. So depending on the value of theta, it will tell us the number of images that will be formed. So generally, the number of images that will be formed is given by the formula N equals 360 divided by theta minus 1. Okay, so N is equal to 360 over theta minus 1. That will give us the number of what? Images. Remember, theta is the angle of inclination, and N is the number of images that is what? Formed. Okay, so let's use this formula and take an example. Let's take an example and see how this formula can be used. So imagine a question says that we should find the number of images formed when the angle between two mirrors is 60 degrees. Let's see what is going to happen. So from the question, they said the angle of inclination is 60 degrees. So we are looking for the number of images. Number of images according to this formula becomes 360 divided by 60 minus 1. And then 0 cancels 0. 6 here is 1. 6 into 36 is 6. So we are left with N equals 6 minus 1, and that will give us 5 images. So what does that mean? It means that if the angle between the mirrors is 60, then the number of images formed will be what? Will be 5. One more example. Assuming we have a question that says we should find the angle between two mirrors, if the number of images produced is, let's say, 8. So the number of images formed is 8. We should find the angle between the what? The mirrors. So let's see how that can be done. So in the question now, N is equal to 8 images. N is 8 images, and then we are looking for the value of theta. So we can say that N is equal to 360 over theta minus 1. So what happens? N becomes 8. So we have 8 equals 360 all over theta minus 1. So minus 1 crosses over to the other side, and we are going to have 8 plus 1 equals 360 all over theta. And then what happens? 8 plus 1 will give us 9 equals 360 over theta. If we make theta the subject, theta becomes equal to 360 divided by 9. Then we start dividing. Of course, 9 into 9 is 1. 9 into 36 will be 4. And 4 times 10 will give us 40 degrees. So the angle between the mirrors is going to be 40 what? Degrees. Okay? Now, another interesting question we will normally see in maybe a WAEC exam or in a JAM or even in School of Nursing exam is they will tell us that we should find the number of images between two mirrors that are parallel. So if the mirrors are parallel, we should find the number of images formed. Always know that whenever you hear that the mirrors are parallel, the number of images is always equal to infinite, meaning you are going to see large number of images that you will not be able to count. So imagine what you observe. This is exactly what you observe when you are in a barber's shop. Okay, so you remember that in a barber shop you have a mirror in front of you and you have a mirror behind you. Now since those two mirrors are not touching, the angle between them is approximately 0, and because the angle is approximately 0, you have an infinite number of images, meaning you will not be able to what? Count the number of images that are what? That are formed.